What's going on, guys? I'm back at you again, and we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna talk about these plays like we do every week. And hold on one second. For some reason, it's not connecting. It was just working fine a second ago. All right, we're good now. All right, so we're in week 11. We're just gonna do what we can here. Have a little break. Try to get as much we can done in the next half hour, and we'll go from there, guys. I just have a lot going on, but I wanted to get this out. So we'll start right here. First play underway. So we got what going on? Two-man route, guys. Three-man route. It was a two-man route, and then two guys came out delayed. The rushers just ran right by their lane assignments. There's no one here. If you notice, guys, look what happens here. This defensive end right here started here and runs himself out of the play. Your D tackle stays there. Another D tackle next to him, and then this guy right here is right next to him. Three guys bunched up, and then your defensive end just sits there. Look at the size of this hole right here. You know what I'm saying? The quarterback just runs right through there. There's nothing there. That's not how you would play defense, guys. What would happen is this defensive end who started here would sit right here, just like the other guy is on the other side. It wouldn't look two different ways. It would look the same. This defensive tackle, if he started off there, he would probably work the B gap. You feel me? Take the B gap away, and then the D tackle next to him will take the other B gap. This middle linebacker is responsible for both A gaps because he can double gap like that. And then you got the defensive end on that side, right? And that's how you cover it. Literally, that's how you cover it. Every gap is covered, but no, they want to do their own thing. And this is what happens when you do your own thing in football, and not just any football. Supposedly the best football on this planet. Supposedly. Now you got 4 or 5 guys that are just not trying to go and tackle him. This isn't 21-year-old Marcus Mariota, guys. This is, 35-year-old Marcus Mariota, or however old he is. He's got grays in his face, guys. It's, all I got to say, you know what I mean? This isn't the Mariota that was the number 1 pick or whatever he was. I think he was number 1. Maybe he was number 2. I can't remember. But the point I'm trying to make is, this isn't that kid from back then, guys. It just isn't. And somehow, they're just leaving lanes open for him. And he's feeling like he's that kid again. Alright, let's go to the next play that makes sense here. We're not going to go to that play. It's a field goal. Let's see what happens on this play. Looks like what? Bengals Steelers, right? They run a toss. Look at the defensive end. No edge, no chance, guys. No edge, no chance. We'll check this from the end zone view, so I don't have to go over it twice, and you guys can actually see the stupidity. I'm gonna do that from now on. I'm gonna let the first play run out, and then we'll do the editing on the end zone view, so we don't waste as much time and we see it better. It only makes sense. Now let's show the reason why this run worked. Oh, they didn't give us the end zone view. They didn't give us the end zone view, guys. That's annoying. Alright, I'm going to try to pause it where I can show you guys where this all went wrong. So, this is your defensive end. He should have already been in the backfield making this play and condensing this gap down. D tackle, nowhere to be found. There should be a D tackle here, causing this runner to bounce outside or bounce inside. You should never, as a runner, be able to run directly through the middle of the defense. Whenever you see that happening, where a running back can run right through the defense, you know somebody didn't follow their gap responsibilities or their gap assignments. That only have big runs up the middle only happens when someone moves out of the way or just leaves a gap open. Because every gap is accounted for when you're playing sound football, something you should be doing in the NFL. So I don't buy this 1 second. You got guys just lollygagging. This guy, what's he doing? Why is he not spinning off? You got a guy on his knees, right? Well, really on his ass. 40, 45 or whatever. This guy is just standing around. You got 44 still in pursuit. You got a guy with the hands to the face right here, but they're not going to call that. And that's how it happens. So he's still doing the hands to the face, guys, right in front of the ref, but the ref is too busy admiring the game and being a fan. And look at 22. What type of an angle was that? Look at 27. He's like, oh, let me touch your arm. Like, what was that? And then he just jumped into him and then stiff arms him. 20. I don't know what 20 was doing. It's like he went like, what's going on? He put his arms to his side, like asking like, what's going on, bro? What's going on is you're playing football. I guess he didn't get the memo. All right, I don't want to waste time on a kick return because it's the same thing I show you every time. Guys just moving out of the way. All right, let's go to the beginning of this play. No rush at all to speak of. Like, literally, there is no rush at all. Right now, Josh is just toying with him just to buy time. And we saw the catch already. Dude ends up wide open. One thing I will say is they were covering for like 5, 6, 7 seconds. Like, no one can cover anyone that long. Like, eventually someone's going to get open. And you saw Tampa Bay blatantly not even rushing in. So I'm not going to go over that too much. So let's go right to the play. You see the 3 rushers not rushing. Now let's look over here. What's happening here? Scramble drills. Guys are just standing around. No one's actually guarding their man. And then the guy just went up the sideline on him. He took his eyes off and left him. Number 0 just like literally left him. Diaby. And Diaby is a defensive end. So for some reason they have a defensive end covering a wide receiver, guys. 50 yards down the field. Number 0, go look it up. Number 0 is an edge rusher. Diaby is an edge rusher, guys. And they had a edge rusher 50 yards down the field playing defense on a receiver. Same thing that happened here. I didn't actually want to go back. It's the defensive end. He crashed inside. No edge, no chance. I'll show you that on the end zone view. It's Joey Bosa. You think Joey Bosa doesn't know any better than this? You think Joey Bosa doesn't know any better than not to give up the edge? Because if you do, you give up an easy touchdown every single time. You don't think Joey Bosa knows that? I'm gonna show you guys what he did. He knows what he did. He did it on purpose. We'll try to pause it right where I need it. So they do. See what Joey did right there, guys? He jumped inside of that block, and that's how he lost. 88 right here came to block Joey. Joey came inside of the block. That is not what you ever want to do. 88. Let's say 88 comes at you, and you're Joey Bosa. What he should have done is go outside the block with his outside arm free, using your right shoulder to make contact. Now, guess what? This running back has to bounce it back inside. If that happens and he's there, he has to pull the brakes and go back upside inside. Or you're going to have to keep bending it out, and it's a foot race to the corner. That's what you want. That's how you play defensive end. Like, so this tells me that Bosa, he jumps in front of this block just to get blocked by someone bigger and stronger. So how does that make sense? So now the running back is literally just going to go outside and he's off to the races. No edge, no chance. Your defensive end is responsible for making this edge stopped or keeping the edge and setting it. Like that's his only job, if nothing else, is to make sure no one gets to the edge. He didn't do a good job of that. That's why you get a big, long run. I want you guys to see him jump in front of that block, though. Watch Joey. He jumps in front of 88 instead of going outside of him. If he went outside of that block, he would have been outside of 78, waiting for 44 to come at him, pause, and then make the tackle. And then we have a sweet feet guy just jumping, diving on his face, and then another guy at the end falling on his face. making us think they're trying to make a tackle. Look at 21. Watch this. He just falls right down to his... Well, he got pushed, actually, by a big guy who actually pushed him in his back first. But whatever. They're not going to call that. Next play. No rush, really. But he's holding the ball, holding the ball, holding the ball. And wide open, finally. We'll see how he got open on the end zone view. We're not going to talk too much of the D-line because they weren't really rushing on this play, guys, if we pay attention. Yeah, they didn't give us the perfect angle here. This is just... Yeah, it's just a good throw. Decent coverage. It's a good throw, you know, better throw. And the real reason this throw happened is because there was no rush. They didn't really try to rush after him. Keenan Allen runs an inside route, and then he brings it back to the corner. That is a beautiful route, guys. He literally ran a dig and then turned it into a corner, guys. And like that was a beautiful route. It really is. And Bryce Young is actually looking really good now. He went from looking like a bust to now he's literally just formidable. And look at this guy make the edge guy literally made a beautiful spin off of the block. Literally right in Bryce's face. And Bryce delivers a strike to his number one option on the play. Literally a strike. And then you see the guy barreling down on him. Like, and most quarterbacks will get nervous of the hit there because, let's face it, these guys don't want to get hit blindsidedly ever, especially when they feel those, you know, they hear the footsteps. And guys, when you're on the football field and a bunch of big guys are running and stomping, the ground shakes. Like, literally, you will hear and you'll feel the ground shaking on run plays and when guys are rushing at you. So you know when it's coming. You can feel the footsteps literally because the ground will literally shake depending on how strong and big the guy is. And when you're in that pocket as a quarterback and you're dropping back in the pocket, literally the ground is rumbling and shaking because there's so many big linemen around you. I remember that from high school, back doing my dropbacks. That's why I would ask Coach, keep me in the shotgun, because when the ground is shaking and you're trying to make a throw, it kind of throws you off a little bit because you're not on a flat, smooth platform anymore. It's now shaking, you know. That's a lot of stuff that people don't take into account either. A lot of people don't talk about that aspect. So there's that. And he keeps running because Atlanta is just not trying to try. I know he's a 6'4", 6'5" wideout, but at least pretend that you are trying, or pretend that you're getting paid millions of dollars to tackle him. This should have been a catch and just a tackle for 15 yards. But look at this DB, doesn't even break on the ball. Look how lazy he is. He's standing straight up as he runs, so that means he's not really sprinting. So you got a bunch of guys running straight up, and then he punches the ball out when he's already out of bounds. Nice job, guy. All right, let's go to the next play. All right, let's see what happens on this play, and then we'll talk about it. It looked like a false start. They do a quick screen to the left. 25 goes inside the block instead of outside. That's why they got the touchdown. Now you see a bunch of red shirts, but they're not going to do a damn thing. The last red shirt just literally assisted the block. Alright, there's literally only one reason why this worked, and we'll show you. It's because, I forgot what number it was 20 something. He goes inside the block right here. You see that guy right there? You got to go outside that block. 26, I think it is. 25. Let's pause right here. You see him? This guy's blocks right here. 25 goes inside of it. So now this guy just walls you off anywhere you go. What should have happened, and they teach you this on screens, when the wide receiver comes to wall you off, you want to go outside of it. Outside in. So now the receiver that catches it has to go back inside. Because if you give him the outside, there's no one there. Literally, there's no one there. Because look at this. This corner is blocking this hat. You got this hat blocked here because he went inside. And then you got this hat blocked there. It becomes a foot race on the sideline with all these pursuit guys. These guys with pursuit angles. You know what I mean? We only see 3, 4 of them now, but there was more. So this is day one stuff that they teach you guys that they're just not listening or obeying. When you don't obey something you learned day one, you're going to get killed at the next level. Or any level at that matter. Like, you're taught this stuff literally at a young age. Go outside of a block on a screen as a DB. Like, that's what you're taught. You're not taught to go inside of blocks ever. There's no scenario that you're taught to go inside unless you're playing a 2-man game and you have a guy going outside already and then you go inside. But if it's just you isolated on a man, you would always go outside the block because you're the last line of defense. There's not much defenders on the sideline. All the defense is on the inside. So it's just risky. The receiver looked like he pushed off. Let me go back a little. Let me pause. Right there, guys. You saw that little push off? I'm going to try to pause it on that, but it's very hard. I would probably have to slow it down again, but let's try. Right there. Got it. So right here, I think he just finished the push off, or he's about to push off. And it also looks like the defender grabbed his arm as well. So let's see how it plays out. Yeah, it looked like after the push off, and it didn't matter. That's a hell of a throw right there. Alright, let's see. The coverage, though, like, you're off by 6-7 yards. You didn't backpedal. It's like he knew he was running a streak, and then he didn't really run. That's disappointing. Yeah, 35 definitely knew that streak was coming because he automatically didn't backpedal and he turned his hips like he knew it was a streak. You can't turn your hips that soon unless you know it's a streak, which he clearly did. Because he could run a comeback on you or an in route or flip you again. Who knows? But he knew. So he just knew to turn and run and just lag back, let him catch it. Because you're supposed to give up the touchdown here. No edge, no chance here, guys. Look at the TJ Watt. What are we doing, TJ? Were you told to give this up? So we got this guy, defensive end, runs himself out of the play. TJ Watt gets flat-footed and goes inside, right? So what's going to happen is, I don't know if they have a pulling guy coming late, but this running back is literally just going to run right up in this crease right there. That's really what's going to happen because TJ went one way and defensive end went the other way. They parted the Red Sea. And I tell you guys this all the time. When you get two defensive linemen that are in stances lined up next to each other and they go opposite directions, they did that on purpose. They're opening up the hole so the running back can run through it on purpose because no defensive coordinator in the world would allow that or would want that to happen. I'm just telling you guys the truth. Like, you can get mad all you want, but that's just how football is played. No one opens up and tells their D-line to do this. You can tell TJ helped it. Look, he's embellishing it. He's, like, embellishing the block. Like, all right, bro, he blocked you, bro. But, like, why do you have to go inside like that so hard? You didn't even fight back to get outside because you were told to give up that lane. And watch, we'll see it right here. Watch TJ. He goes inside. You see, he went inside. So don't tell me he got blocked that way. He went that way. And then this DN goes way upfield, and then 50 just runs into the block, and that's all it is. It's very stupid. It's very simple. And that's all it is, guys. It's stupid football is what we're seeing. We got guys doing stuff on purpose. But they're not trying to win on purpose, though. All right, let's see what happens on this play. We'll do a couple more. Play action. No one's rushing, so this is a big play probably for the offense. Yep, wide open. Oh, but he overthrew him. I thought he was going to do a one-handed catch. But I forgot that the Chargers got blown out yesterday. They had a really bad game. That is just, it was just a misthrow, guys. He was wide open on that one. He really, truly was wide open. I can't explain the overthrow other than these quarterbacks just know where to put the ball. And this stuff, whenever they throw a pick and it goes right to the other team, they did it on purpose. They know what they're doing, guys. Watch how he throws this. He throws it right to the other team. He didn't even have to put that much juice on it. The guy was literally wide open. Herbert makes this throw with his eyes closed. Like, if he knows, oh, he's only 20. Look at this. There's no way he's going to overshoot that so horribly like that with no pressure, feet set. He was trying to throw the pick, man. Because you got to know that these quarterbacks, they also get paid when they lose. They get money in these bets as well. You know, they don't care that much that they lost because they're getting paid on the back end. All right, let's see if we can get a Green Bay. All right, let's get some of this Vikings game because we saw a few plays from this game already. As long as it's not a punt or a kickoff. Yeah, this is a punt. We won't watch this. Let's go to the next one. Giants. We didn't see any of this. Giants, Packers. Let's see what happens on this play. All the time in the world. No one's really rushing. Literally all the time in the world. Now he throws it when the rush gets in his face. That was clearly planned. And then this is going to be caught, obviously. The DB just didn't turn his head and let him catch the ball. It's the scheme we see all the time. That's part of the NFL scheme. See, the DB doesn't turn and look back for the ball. He turns the wrong way, so for the audience, it looks like he tried to look back. But if the ball's coming this way, what good does it do to you to turn your head that way? It does you no good. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, why would you turn that way? He's doing that for us, so it looks like he's trying, but he's not. If you were trying, you would have turned the way the ball was coming and then batted away. But you're not doing that. All right, let's go to a different game. We've seen enough of what's going on with that. Tennessee sucks, but let's see what's happening here. And then maybe we'll close out with a Browns play or something. Because we've been covering Shedeur a lot, and it looks like he might get his first start on Sunday. He clearly didn't play well when he came in, but he had some good throws that got blocked and dropped. And, he had some bad throws as well, He got thrown in the fire, no first-team reps. That's what happens. That's literally what happens. I just want to see what he looks like when they have him comfortable in an offense that he likes. And he has a full game, a full week to prepare, and then let's judge him. I can't really judge him based on what we saw because anybody thrown in that situation would look like crap. If we're being fair, if we're being honest, which a lot of people aren't when it comes to Shedeur. A lot of people are full of you-know-what. I'm trying to look for a Browns play, but we haven't seen a Rams play. So let's see what happens on this play. They run the ball right up the middle, guys. There's just nothing there. What did the D-tackle do? Look at the D-tackle, backpedaling. You see him? He's literally backpedaling, guys. Look at him. He's backpedaling. The D-tackle, look at him. He's giving up the lane on purpose. That's how they do it, guys. That was textbook. We saw it. He literally is just patty caking and backpedaling, assisting him. It's a one-on-one block. No one in the NFL is just dominating. There's no such thing as a dominant O-line in the NFL. Why? Because it's a 300-pounder versus another 300-pounder. It's force versus force. Like, it's not going to be that much more of a difference. They're all strong. That's my point. It becomes technique. It becomes awareness. It becomes being in the right spots. That's how you are a good lineman in the NFL. Yeah, that was just not good. Clearly, Baker was told to lay down. He started off so well, and they had him lay down towards the end. It's the usual script, usual stuff we see. All right. honestly, I don't really like watching the Broncos. I'm trying to look for a Browns play to end on. Oh, I found it. Yeah, let's go over this touchdown that they scored with their tight end on that little I don't even know what you would call it. It was like a little jet sweep almost. So they're all bunched up. No edge, no change. It's the defensive end, guys. I just realized it's the defensive end. We'll see it from the other view. But you'll notice 57. What's he doing? 57 is the reason why this play works. He didn't know what he was doing. I don't think he's a guy that plays that much. They put him in a spot, and he just was a body, and he didn't know what he was doing. Because he's a defensive end, you're supposed to contain the edge. It looked like he was just there. He didn't push anyone. He didn't engage. He didn't do anything at all but get fooled and dominated. Let's hope they show this again. All right, here we go. Watch 57. He goes inside, and that's why the play works. Let me show you what he should have done, and this play would have worked if he listens. If he literally just listens. Let's move up a little bit. So, if 57 does what a defensive end is supposed to do, and also, why do they have a skinny guy in here? Notice this guy's big, this guy's skinny, and then this guy is big. So they're clearly mismatched inside. But this guy right here, outside release. That's what you're supposed to do. And then this guy can do that, that, and then he's reading. He's not even supposed to do that. He should have been a little. This guy should have been a little further, like right here, because you got to read what's happening, and then he could have pursued better. Because him being here, he's not going to be able to get there. You know what I mean? He's just not going to be able to get there, this guy, because he's so far over. They think Derrick Henry's getting it. He fakes the handoff and then goes and loops around and runs right up in there. But I'm telling you, 57 does what he's supposed to do. This play does not work, not even a little bit, because it couldn't work. It would be impossible to work. See 57? He doesn't know what he's doing. And then 49, remember how I told you how he was so far over? If he just stayed in the middle, 49, if he stayed right here, he would have been close enough to make the tackle. But now he has to fight through all this wash, and he gets blocked again, and then has to chase again. It's little things like that, guys, that get you out of position and that loses you football games. It's that simple. All right, we'll close out with this Eagles play, and then we'll get up out of here. They got a motion over. They do a quick screen. No edge, no chance. The defensive end goes way too far upfield. He should have seen that they were throwing the screen and went right to it. He could have batted it down and definitely made the tackle 100%. But nonetheless, good play by the offense. Let's look at it from this angle. Maybe we might not be able to see it because the angle of the camera is too far wide. It's not going to show that. Yep, it's not showing the defensive end, guys. Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. 50 is the defensive end. So what should have happened? I didn't realize how far over it was. So let's actually talk about this. So once you notice it's screen, which is right away because this guy goes for the block, 50 should have went right at him. Instead, 50 goes this way, and then he turns back anyway. So it's like, if you're going to run in to turn back out, might as well take away the screen first. And that's what we do in semi-pro. Whenever they're lined up like this, we always say, take away screen first. Take away the screen first, then react inside, because you'll have enough time. So if he went right at it to take it away first and then went inside, it would have worked out better for him. But instead, he decided to go like this and then back out. It's not going to work ever. Like, at any level, that's just not going to work. What's the point of lining up this far wide if you're not going to play the screen anyway? You know what I mean? It made no sense lining up that far anyway. And then look how he's 2 feet away from him for making the tackle. It's a game of inches. See all those steps he ran inside. Now he can't recover. Ends up being 2 steps away. That's what I'm telling you. Where you line up is probably the most important thing in football, more than anything else. You have to line up properly to ensure that you have good outcomes. Otherwise, it's a game of inches. You're going to get caught or you're going to mess up the play. That's how it goes, man. Everything is that particular in football. So, yeah, we'll end it off right here, guys. Overall, it was kind of a weird week, but we did well. We got a lot of our games, especially on Patreon, like always. So, we'll keep this going, and next week we'll do week 12, and we'll go from there. Stay tuned for the breakdown. That should be coming, I believe, tomorrow at some point. And yeah, we'll go from there, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that like button. It helps a lot. And we'll catch you on the next time.